Hey.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Whew. Weather's getting a bit warmer. It's not so snowy yet these days, is it? except my background, of course.
In your room, cold.
Just in my room, yeah. Welcome to season 2, episode 15 of the Snowflake Show. I'm your co-host, Regan Lee, alongside.
I'm Lee Corn.
You are indeed.
I am.
And over the next hour, guys, we're going to give you the latest news, views, and share some, well, not so much a funny, but more of an odd story and a good news to share as well. Lee, how are you doing?
I've still got this cold. Can't get rid of this cough. Doing my head in. But apart from that, the weather's got nicer, so can't complain. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. My own channel's doing not too bad either. I'm catching up with this show, which is not good. Who have we got in the chat today?
I think we're a bit sort of short on when we started. So Lefty Voters here, evening all, evening Lefty. Regan Lee, good evening Snowflakes. That guy does my head in. Duke Vengeance, Guardians of the Guardians of the Snow Realm, arise! Ginger's Giraffe says hi all, hi Gingers. Sorry, hi Duke.
Hi.
Sorry. And number 3's here. Hello everyone. Hi, number 3. So we're a bit short at the moment. I think we kind of started the stream and it didn't really.
It's because we started on time. That's why.
Maybe everybody's expecting us to be late as usual. But,
yeah, expecting us to be a bit late. So, but I have pinged the server, so hopefully more people will trickle in as we go along. Shall we jump straight into the notes because we've got quite a lot to talk about today, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We've got a lot. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Oh, why is it doing that? Hang on, there's something there. Let me just have a look. Why is it picking that wind? Why is that
Those technical difficulties again, chat.
Let's just
Duckbread says Poundland pigeon. Yes, Poundland pigeon. You'll find out all about the Poundland pigeon later on in the show.
Right, let me just make that bit bigger so it blocks out the bit behind it. I don't know why it's doing that. It's not on that. Shouldn't be on that page for some reason.
Right.
Oh, I know why. Let's get rid of it. There we go. Done. Right.
All right. So I've got some, as Lisa's playing about. Are we ready? Good to go for the next?
Yeah, we're good now. Good now. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to run through some of the news headlines from over the last week that's been going on. So first one up from the Independence that Tory minister is looking to private the NHS, says union bosses. But we knew that already.
Yep.
Next one is this is an interesting one. This was said. This is from the Ferret. I have read this. Pretty interesting. So the Ministry of Defence has been attacked for planning to increase discharge of radioactive waste into the Firth of Clyde by up to 50 times. That's
that's not good, is it?
That's pretty disgusting, to say the least. That I can't recall who posted that on the server. That was really interesting to read. So thanks for that. Another one from the Guardian. I did a shorts on this one as well. So Labour glitch puts voting intentions data at millions at risk. So basically, what happened? There was a glitch for the Labour Party members and Labour members that basically their potential data has been put at risk. It has been nipped in the bud. It was nipped in the bud as soon as the Guardian were aware of it, but obviously because they knew the story, they put it out after they informed Labour of the. But again, I've done a video on that on my channel, a shorts one. If you guys want a little bit more details on that,
I don't think it was actually. I don't think anybody. Well, I don't think anybody actually.
But potentially,
potential for there.
It did say it's potential, but not confirmed. But Sky News police investigate atonement that went viral after it was destroyed with 5K escorts. So this was the story you guys may have heard about. This Carly Bird who transformed her garden to grow organic.
We did that last week, didn't we? Did we talk about this last week? Or am I thinking something else? Oh, okay. Maybe it was somewhere else.
I don't
Maybe
think we
maybe
did.
on the
No.
server afterwards, we chatted
I
about it.
might have done, yeah. But yeah, the Meals on Wheels with Love initiative was heartbroken to discover she had hard work destroyed with 5 kilograms of salt that was thrown onto the soil. Police are, there was said the police are investigating it, and also a huge amount of money has been donated from lots of people as well. I mean, it's well over 100, well over a quarter of a million, 250,000 or something like that. So
Right.
it's a huge amount that's been poured
Yeah.
into which is absolutely lovely, but at the same time, still, just when you're thinking about that story, it's just really hard to take. Guardian, other police forces have higher rates of sexual misconduct and racism claims. The Met. The next one's a pretty interesting one I saw on the Mirror. So, vapes with as much nicotine as 100 cigarettes sold illegally to girl 13 in one day. Nearly half the shops sampled in a Mirror investigation sold a teenager a clutch of vapes containing large amounts of nicotine. So basically, it's very easy for a 13-year-old to basically get their hands on it.
Yeah. It's incredibly addictive nicotine as well. So
yeah, which is not nice at all. Obviously, this just should not be happening. This one I covered. I think I'm dropping a video tomorrow on this one on my channel, either tomorrow or Friday. If you guys want more on this one, so top scientists warn the next pandemic is coming and we're not ready. That's from the Independent. Next one is the price of British food staples, including cheddar cheese, porridge, oats, and white bread soars up to 80%. There's been some stories, obviously, with regards to inflation as well and all that. Obviously, you guys are obviously aware of what's going on over in Scotland, but we'll just cover it a bit here. SNP hold emergency talks after Treasury Colin Burton arrested. He has been released since then, which was made understand, I believe, yesterday while Max was doing his live stream. The arrest comes after Peter Murdoch, the SNP's former chief executive and Nicola Sturgeon's husband, was detained by the police earlier this month.
yeah,
I believe
he's stepped down, hasn't he, Colin Beattie?
Yes, he has stepped down.
Yeah, as a treasurer.
That is one of the headlines of today, as well as step down as well. Local election news. David Davis, of all people, has called for delays to new voter ID rules to prevent hundreds of thousands being blocked from casting ballots. I wonder why he said that. It's almost like he wants to be on our side. Exam marketing boycott by UK university staff could hit graduations this summer. Universities and college unions to go ahead with industrial action after members reject offer on pay and working conditions. So more strikes to come in another sector. Just not ending, guys. Boost for travellers as EU pushes back post-Brexit border checks to 2024. If you want more information on that, check out my shorts on my channel.
Yeah, apparently, from what I've heard, it's because there's a Paris Olympics next year.
Yes.
So
they want to try and keep. They want to be able to keep. They want to bring as much to Paris, obviously, as they can.
Yeah.
So it did state. I think it's up to 2024, but it may be pushed. It may. It's not 100% confirmed, but yeah, if you want more details, obviously, you guys can check out the shorts I've done on that.
I think it's already should have been implemented by now already. So.
This isn't actually happening now. UK.
No, we're not actually emergency alert now. Just it looks like it's. Sorry.
It's this Sunday, 3 p.m. in the UK. If you have a mobile phone, it will go off. If you want to know exactly, if you want a little bit more details, again, I've got a shorts on that on my channel if you want to have a look. But that's pretty much essentially what it will be. It will tell you it's a test, just for those wondering. This next one, don't know how I managed to get. I managed to get a shorts on it, but I did. Electoral Commission raises doubts over postal vote application being handled illegally by Conservatives.
Yeah, I saw this the other day. They're basically sending out postal vote application forms with the return address of the local Conservative Party.
Yeah,
which is like how do you know it's going to actually get sent to handed into the council if you do that? It's disgraceful.
Yeah. So that's exclusive for my news. I don't know how I managed to.
So if you filled that
video, but I did, yeah.
Yeah, if you filled that form in, sent it back to, they open it and go, oh look, they're going to vote Labour or Lib Dem. Well, just that one just doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't get through.
It's a vote suppression and all that.
I'm not accusing anybody of electoral fraud, but that's the potential is there to do that. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
if you do be postal vote, send it straight back to the council, not to the address that the council gives you, not any Conservative Party or anybody like that.
Yeah. And last one, guys. 1 in 6 adults are living in poor housing in the UK study shows as well. So lots of people living in poor condition.
So I'm looking in the chat because I didn't have the chat window open then.
I think there's a lot more in the chat now. I think.
Oh yeah, lots of people. Yeah. Duck Bread's here, as you said, Poundland Pigeon. Murdoch surrenders, really. Well, yeah, kind of. Kenzie's here. Hi, Kenzie. Good evening. Ben Shaw's here. Evening, everybody. Evening, Ben. Chatty Rat's here. Good evening, all. Conservative is here. Good evening, all. Zhao's here. Zhao Moreros. Good evening, all. Chatty Rat says Irish Department of Comms advise that mobile phone in border areas in Republic of Ireland may get the UK alert if phones are on roaming mode. Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
I need to. I didn't shut my door, so I need to shut my door in a second.
Put the article up, and I will.
Right.
First article up, and I will cover that while you sort that out.
Okay.
Right. While Lee just does that, so this he'll scroll down for us in just a moment, but we're starting with the big news from The Guardian. The senior Ministry of Defence officials could quit if Dominic Raab has been cleared of bullying. So senior justice officials could quit if Dominic Raab is cleared of bullying. The Guardian understands, with the fate of the Deputy Prime Minister to be decided as soon as Thursday. So yeah, so tomorrow we are most likely to find out what's going to be the outcome of this. Preparations at the heart of the government are ramping up for the publication of the long-expected report into the claims of bullying by Dominic Raab. A White House source says the findings of Adam Tolley, oh God, you guys know crap with names, Tolley KC, could be passed to the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak as soon as Thursday. Officials at the Cabinet Office, Properties and Ethnic teams are also said to be braced for the potential bombshell dossier to land imminently. The Justice Secretary has faced multiple formal complaints over his dealings with civil servants, including claims first revealed by The Guardian that he bullied and belittled staff, driving some to tears and causing them to throw up before meetings. The inquiry was heard for more than 24 complainants. Raab, who is also Deputy Prime Minister, has consistently denied any bullying of civil servants, including some in senior roles. One official told The Guardian, if he stays in the department, senior people will want to walk. Another said that several senior colleagues would start looking for new jobs and leave in the near future, but stop short of quitting on the spot. MO, Ministry of Defence officials believe it is likely, given the breadth of the evidence, that Sunak would have to sanction Raab, warning if he does not, it would be so demoralising for staff. Internal briefings have been preparing about how to handle the moment when with the report nearly 5 months in the making finally drops. The Guardian understands. Raab is not believed to have any public engagements on Thursday, and Sunak is flying back from Belfast on Wednesday night after hosting a gala dinner. Sunak is suspected to receive the report and make a decision on the Justice Secretary within hours. The report will be then made public alongside his decision. The Prime Minister will also likely face questions in the report's aftermath about what he knew and when. Insiders have said senior civil servants warned him of issues about Raab's behaviour before appointing him as his deputy. We all knew that, and he knew that, and still hired him anyway. Senior Tories believe that the report and a decision about Raab's future as a Deputy Prime Minister could be made as much in advance of the May local elections as possible. However, the timing of the report is ultimately in the hands of Trolley. A person with knowledge of the investigation said Trolley had interviewed Raab multiple times and had done a thorough job. They believe he had weighed the evidence he had received according to the proof provided by the witness. It will be shades of grey, he said, a presentation of statements, the fact that means that whatever the behaviour amounts to bullying in the eyes of the beholder, in the end it will be the PM's call. What do you think, Lee? You're muted.
Sorry, is this just one case that he's being investigated on here, or is this like 30 odd charges against him? No, complaints against him, I should say.
It's, I believe, I don't think it's one, because it doesn't say that there.
All right.
I'm I'm just having a quick double
Oh,
check
it's a
here,
report
guys.
into the claims. So yeah, I would have thought it's all of them.
I think it's all of them.
Yeah.
I think it's all of them. I'm pretty sure. Someone in the chat can confirm, but I'm pretty sure it's all of them here, because otherwise, I think they would have stated in the article here that it would be. So, but yeah, I think it pretty much all hinges on this. To be fair,
And Xiao says, "RAAB is such a strange creature. Looks like a shaved Klingon."
he is a Klingon. To be fair,
Yeah, he's a Klingon. Yeah.
he has to go. He
Yeah,
has to go.
got
It's
to.
just, I just like, what are they going to just let people walk? I mean, to be fair, they have sunk low, but how much more lower are they going to allow this?
Well, Rishi Sunak's already, his wife's, what he's under investigation as well by the by the Parliamentary Privileges Committee, and he apparently he's declared the his wife's interest in that care firm or childcare firm now, but it's a bit late for that, isn't it? But I'm sure he'll probably get away with it. But he just shows. I mean, he came in and said the first thing was, he would have the integrity and all the rest of it, and it's just been one thing after another since he became prime minister. So, and he hasn't exactly dealt with them as though he's keen to stamp out any kind of corruption or anything like that. So he's not exactly holding himself to his own word.
No, he hasn't done a great job of that since the start, to be fair. So,
in the chat, Pedulous is here. Good evening, all. Bonsoir, tous. Bonsoir, Pedulous. Bonsoir. Pumps is here. Nonsense says, Zhao, no, that's nonsense. Klingons are more appealing. Alkabij is here. Evening. Duckbird says, unfortunately, a lot of my peers vape. Yeah, I know. Duke says, the only alert I want to hear from the Tories is them resigning. Pump says, that they're all on board the Titanic and it's just hit an iceberg. Yeah.
The iceberg being Brexit.
Number 3 says, I'm struggling to find a decent house myself and I'm relatively well off. Yeah, house prices are just ridiculous at the moment. Renting is just ridiculous as well.
Yeah, I've given up on buying a home. That's the sad reality. I've given up on it.
Number 3 says, Pumps, the metaphor is apt. The wealthy anchors will get the lifeboats first, lock the poor down below. True, apparently. Zhao says, well, I'd rather spend a hot and possibly mortal weekend with a Klingon woman than have a beer with RAAB, so you're right.
If the boat was full of them, 2/3 wouldn't make it, says Pumps.
Yeah.
During the meeting, my client was accosted by Dominic RAAB by way of projectile cherry tomato, says Duke.
Yeah, apparently he likes throwing cherry tomatoes at people.
Apparently.
Zhao says, get Angela to sort out RAAB. One look at those boots and he'll be crawling on the floor. Yes.
Let's not go down that way.
Yep. Pumps. Number 3 says, Pumps, many people go money mad, that's all I know. Even if he'd done that to me when I was younger, I would have thumped him after due warning. Well, yeah, don't like resorting to violence, but even boat prices are skyrocketing, says left to right. Yeah, I can imagine. Apparently, it's not very cheap to run a boat on the canals or whatever. There you go. Should we move on to the next one then?
Yeah, let's jump into the next story. Let's not talk about the slimy meatball anymore.
Klingon. Slimy Klingon.
Klingon. Yeah, he's no Klingon. Yeah, more strikes, guys. Yay, more strikes. No, not really. It's not good at all. Heathrow security staff and passport workers announce May strikes. What a great time for people to go on holiday if they're flying from Heathrow. Not their fault at the end of the day. Further strikes by airport and passport workers have been announced next month as part of their escalating dispute over pay. Security staff at Heathrow Airport will take a further 8 days of industrial action in May. The Unite Union said the Public and Commercial Service Union (PCS) has confirmed more than 1,000 passport officer workers will walk out at the start of May. The FDA union will also ballot senior civil servants for strike action. The latest announcements from the 3 unions come amid a wave of industrial action by hundreds of thousands of workers across different sectors over the past year. Disputes are mostly overpay, with unions calling for wage rises to keep up with rising prices. Almost 2,000 PCS members working as passport examiners in offices in Belfast, Durham, Glasgow, Liverpool, London, Newport, Peterborough, and Southport have all been on strike. Since April the 3rd. Will now be joined from the 2nd of May to the 6th of May by 1,000 workers in non-examination roles in the same offices, interview offices in Birmingham, Corby, Hemel Hempstead, Leeds, Portsmouth, Sheffield, and Plymouth from the 3rd to the 6th of May. PCS General Secretary Mark Swatchkar, sound right, says the government had insulted his staff last week by announcing that they will receive a pay rise this year between 4.5% and 5%. The 1,400 security officers at Heathrow who took part in 10 days of induction action over the Easter period will now walk out and 8 further days, 4th to the 6th of May, 9th to the 10th of May, and 25th to the 27th of May. United said the strikes will cause inevitable disruption and delays to passengers arriving for the King's coronation because of Heathrow's stubborn refusal to make an offer to meet members' expectations. Heathrow offered striking workers a 10% pay increase in January, but in talks last week said it had improved the offer with a further 1,150 lump sum this year. The airport said Unite was refusing to put revised offer to its members. I hate this lump sum. Here, I'll take this huge chunk of money and take this little bit of a pay rise. It's like, no, that's not how it's going to work. We want a decent, fair pay rise.
Yeah. Well, it's not even a huge amount of money in the grand scheme of things. It's the thing of like you go, okay, well that gives me a certain amount this year, but next year you're back down to the pay rise that you got in.
Exactly.
There'll be no lump sum, so it's like taking a pay rise and then taking a pay cut again. Yeah, you need to have a permanent pay rise. Interesting saying that Unite's they're saying that Unite won't put it to the members. So there's kind of conflicted information there.
Yeah, they're basically saying, "Well, put it to the members," and I'm thinking, well, is that really an offer that they want?
Well, I don't know what they actually asked for. Does it say? I mean, they're saying
well,
over
the
10%,
General
more than
Secretary
10%.
said the government had insulted his staff by announcing they will receive a pay rise of this year between 4.5% and 5%. I think that was the original.
Well, he's saying Heathrow offered striking workers a 10% pay increase in January, but in talks last week, he said he improved the offer with a further one. Oh, right, so it's still 10%, but with the 1,150, maybe they're after 15 or something like that. I don't know. With the cost of living in crisis, 10% is below inflation at the moment, so not great.
British Airways had cancelled out around 300 flights in advance due to the previous strike, so more flights are likely to be cancelled as a result of this as well. It's the first time the union has approved a national strike ballot over pay in more than 40 years as well in the States. 40 years.
Charlie C says they resist pushing RAAB another over the edge because it slows their own inevitable cliff edge moment. They're reveling making one giant blame target and holding it around for weeks. Yeah, as cover for the rest of them. Yeah, true. Hi, Charlie C. Welcome. I don't think we've seen you before. Welcome.
Hi, Charlie. Hello to everyone. I haven't said hello. I let Lee do the talking to you guys.
Context says, "Hey ho, everyone." Hi, Context. Duke says that does it, Squire. I'm going on strike for better pay. What do you mean that's not how it works? What do you mean I'm the one in charge? Oh, yeah, of your own dukedom. Yeah. Pump says I'm self-employed. I find when I go on strike, I can never reach agreement with myself. Yeah, Charlie says most of that lump sum will disappear in tax and social insurance deductions. That's true. Yeah, it won't be £1,150. Be considerably less than that. Oh, my camera's shaking.
Yeah, it will be indeed.
Okay. Something a bit This
lighten the mood, as another YouTuber would say.
Yeah, somebody we haven't had on the channel before. The video somebody comedian we haven't on before. It's Mr. Joe Guthrie, Tory guy. Sorry, press the wrong button.
There we go.
Henry, Henry, emergency alert! Emergency alert! I've run out of dry-eye vine! I've run out of dry-eye vine! Of course I haven't. Like that could ever happen. So we're sending an emergency alert test message to every UK mobile phone to really put the wind up the plebs. I know. Well, apparently, Henry, we're sending this emergency alert test message because in the future it will warn the plebs of any potential risk or danger to their lives, because all of a sudden we really care about the plebs' welfare. Ooh, chinny, chin, chinny, ooh. Of course we don't. We've removed their right to protest, we're suppressing their right to vote, and we're getting rid of their human rights altogether. As far as we're concerned about plebs' welfare, it's... I know. So... This, knowing us Tories, though, Henry, this emergency test message is probably something a lot more sinister. Yes, we're probably accessing the camera and microphone of all the plebs' mobile phones all at the same time, and then harvesting data, which will then sell off to our chums. Well, soz, but, Tory's gonna Tory. Well, what this emergency test message should really say, Henry, is emergency. Your National Health Service is being deliberately run into the ground so we can privatise it and sell it off to our donors. We're deliberately turning your rivers and waterways into cesspits full of sewage. We're allowing the energy companies to screw you into poverty whilst they make obscene profits. And we've committed the heist of the century, plundering the taxpayers' purse of billions of pounds, which we've then dished out to our chums. Soz. Do you know, Henry, we could send that exact message to the plebs, and do you know what? The dimwit plebs would still vote us back into government. I know. Anyway, Henry, mustache, I'll see you at the club later, and we'll certainly alert the barman of our emergency of needing to down a bottle or 12 of dry-eye vine. See you later.
So, you want to
Is he related? Is he related to John Burko?
He did a very good.
I was just thinking. I was just like, does he look familiar? Like, I was like, oh yeah, John Burko.
Yeah. Chatty Rat says he reminds me of Rick Mayall or Alan Bastard. Pump says, "Nah, Alan Bastard is musing. This is too close to the truth." It is. It really is. I mean, it's like, you don't know whether to laugh or cry when you're watching that. It's like, yeah. List all the things.
I just think he's
doing.
related to John Burko. He just seems to have that. I don't know. There seems to be similarities in appearance there. So we need to kind of we'll probably do in the after chat. We'll have a picture of him and John Burko next to each other, and then we'll put the great debate of are they related.
There's actually a Tory MP on PMQs today who looked just like him. And I'm thinking, God, it's just, is this the same guy? He's real. Yeah, I think.
This dude is too pumped for me. I am hyperactive as well.
I'll put a link of that one because he's of this guy because he's really funny. He did a really good one about Rupert Murdoch in the style of the Emperor from Star Wars. I don't know if you saw that. I think I shared it with a few people, so I will.
Send me a link, and what I'll do is I'll get the bot to plug it on the server for us to keep an eye out when he does some stuff in the future. But
talking of Rupert Murdoch. Oh no, not that one. That was bad. Wrong button. There we go.
Yeah, to America, guys. You guys probably have already heard this. But the Fox settlement is part of a flurry of lawsuits over election lies. Yeah, so we're going to America. It's not. Last time we did was just to moan about Trump, but we are going to moan about not Trump, but a very naughty news corporation, is to say the least. So, trying to catch my voice here.
You okay?
Can you do this one? Actually, my voice is starting to go.
I'll try. My cough's got worse. So, so this is from the Associated Press. Fox News, nearly $800 million settlement of a voting machine company's defamation lawsuit marks a first milestone in a larger legal strategy designed to combat the false claims and conspiracy theories about elections that have rippled through the US for nearly 3 years. Several similar lawsuits are tied up against those who have spread election lies, including another against Fox. Plaintiffs range from a different voting technology company to Georgia election workers who are falsely accused of tampering with the vote count in that state. The events include close advisors to former President Donald Trump and a conservative group that funded a film last year alleging widespread voter fraud during the 2020 presidential election won by Democrat Joe Biden. Lawyers involved in the effort describe it as an attempt to strike back against those whose lies about fraud in that election helped inspire the January 6, 2021 attack on the US Capitol and continue to circulate in conservative circles. Lies like these that inflict serious harms on our democracy have been costless, said Rachel Goodman, a lawyer with the group Protect Democracy, who's representing the Georgia election workers, along with plaintiffs in other libel claims against election conspiracists. This litigation creates accountability and makes clear that there are steep costs to recklessly or intentionally spreading fiction for political or personal profit. Yet even if the legal challenges keep generating eye-popping settlements or damage awards, it's not clear that they will change behaviour or counter the attacks on democratic institutions. I personally do not regard a libel suit to be a good mechanism to deal with disinformation problems, said Jane Kirtley, Professor of Media Ethics and Law at the University of Minnesota. I keep coming back to this fear that we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole here. The lawsuit against Fox News and its parent company, Foxcorp, from Dominion Voting Systems, was one of the first defamation claims filed after Trump and his allies spent weeks falsely claiming the 2020 election was stolen. One of the initial conspiracy theories they floated was that the Denver-based voting machine company was part of an international cabal that threw the election to Biden. Dominion sued Trump advisor and former New York Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, Trump lawyer Sidney Powell, MyPillow founder Mike Lindell, and others who helped spread the false theory. They also sued right-leaning news networks that repeatedly featured the theory in their coverage, two insurgent pro-Trump channels Newsmax and One American News Network, and the nation's most watched cable news network Fox.
Sorry, I've been obviously I've been covering it on my channel as well. So basically, it's been building up for a while. Obviously, then there was a point I remember when they announced these lawsuits that immediately, like channels like Newsmax and that, like they had to literally tell their anchors, like, no, you can't say that or we'll get sued, you know, sort of thing. Like they literally had, I think there was like parts on air where they had a guest on saying that, and they said they had to basically retract it straight away or whatnot, like because that they realized just how screwed they was, because they knew they didn't have a leg to stand on in this case whatsoever. They
one of the presenters, so there's a clip where one of the presenters, one of the guests started talking about it, and the presenter said, no, you can't talk about that, and he literally walked off the set because he just didn't want to get involved, he didn't want to be implicated in it as well. I think that was on Newsmax or One American Network, OAN. The thing is, so this apparently was yesterday or the day before they told the judge in this libel case that or this civil case, I should say, that they were negotiating a settlement, and so all the trial was kind of paused while that happened. So I think a lot of it is that Rupert Murdoch didn't want any more of this to come out. It was a lawsuit.
No, he did not. He did not,
no.
Under any circumstances, wanted to go to trial because he knew it would destroy Fox News' credibility.
He's already done a lot of damage because of all the leaks of WhatsApp and private messages that have come out already from Fox News.
So what happened was, so a judge delayed it by a day, and they didn't disclose the reason for it. And obviously, basically, what happened, what I believe is what happened behind closed doors, is basically Fox News basically said, pick a number and we'll throw it at you, basically, just to do anything. I think Dominion really should have just taken this to trial and say, no amount of money you throw us is going to... I think they could have had the opportunity to really take down one of the biggest, most corrupt news corporations in America here if they took them to trial. But instead they decided to take the money, which I think, for me, it's morally wrong. I think they should have gone to the heads of them because they knew they were going to destroy them in that case, regardless of whatever Fox News had ready.
It probably would have been protracted because the case would have carried on till the end, which might have been another 6 months or a year, and then there probably would have been appeals after that. So you never know how long that would take to actually get the money out of them. And probably they don't want to be dragged through the courts all the time as well. They want to get it over and done with because they still want to have they've still got a business to run. Excuse me, and they've also got to sell. They sell these machines around the world, so they want to. They probably don't want to have the name, constantly reminded about this potential voter fraud claims. So in a way, it kind of gets rid of that. But I mean, I think like that I can't remember who it was. One of the people who was talking about that, one of the lawyers was saying that it's a square round peg in a square hole or whatever. You trying to fight this in libel cases, civil cases, but there's obviously the criminal cases going through at the moment with Donald Trump, and there's going to be more. Well, yeah, that one's still on its way. It's to come the 6th of January one. So I think this is going to go on for years, I think.
There is no requirement in the settlement that Fox admit airing inaccurate information as well. It says there, some Fox critics were upset that the settlement didn't include an admission of wrongdoing from the network as well.
Right. It's
so yeah, they don't have to go on air and basically say we were wrong. Which would have been nice if they had gotten that out of them, because that would have really stuck it in a little bit to them, to be fair. But it's a shame as well. That article's from AP News. They have some great stuff, great coverage, by the way, guys. You should check them out whenever you get the chance.
Nico de Schmidt's here. Hi all, sorry for being late. It's okay, Nico. You're welcome.
Good to see you, Nico. I hope you're well. Good to see you, Sir Larry, as well.
Yeah. Oh yes, hi, Sir Larry. Charlie C says litigation can be.
Hugh C as well. Sorry, I just saw Hugh.
Oh, hi, Hugh.
Yeah, good to see you there as well.
Charlie C says litigation can be costly in time and fees, and only offer a payment plan, so the recovery of losses is often less attractive just on that basis. Living with a live case like that would throw any budgets. Yeah, at least once it's settled, you've got the money, you can move on from it. I suppose in a way. Was it $1.5 billion they're after? So they got about half.
They're nearly 800.
Yeah, 780.
$787.5 million.
Yeah, so about half of what they were after. But I mean, they always put a massively inflated amount in on these claims anyway. They never usually expect to get the full amount.
They've still got a decent payout at the end of the day, I suppose.
If you think about precedent, it sets a price tag for someone maybe must to say whatever he wants for 2024, and assume he could excuse me, he can settle for similar, which he or others might afford. Yeah, I think Elon Musk's his fortune isn't as big as it used to be, is it? So with Twitter.
Giles says American news are too weird for me. I dare to watch 1 minute of GB news.
Yeah. If a judge awards a lower amount than a respondent's offer, the plaintiff can be stuck with costs. Yeah. So you might be. So it says Dominion is only worth 80 million. Well, now they've got 780 million in the bank. Plus they've still got other.
A little bit more richer.
They've got other cases against other organisations. So see how they work. Smartmatic next up against Fox. Is that Solari the Cat? Yeah.
Ben Shaw says we have Sky News with Kate Burley. Yeah, Kate is hit and miss, isn't she? To be fair, like there are some days where she's actually doing all right. There are some days it's like, what are you doing, girl? Like hold the minister to account, and she's like, oh, I'm just sitting there letting them ramble on.
We got 19 views and 11 likes. Okabe says, hit the like button. Yes, come on, please hit the like button if you haven't already done so.
The like button, guys.
Yeah, the big thumbs up. Right. So, do you want to do Ukraine next then?
Yeah, let's go to Ukraine, guys, because we haven't really talked much about Ukraine for a while.
Still waiting for the thaw, aren't they? I think, but anyway.
Ukraine. So this is a bit interesting. So, Ukrainian parliamentary publicly speculates about the counter-offensive attack plan. So the deoccupation of the Kherson region on the left bank of the Dnipro River is a critical step for Ukraine's pending offense. A leading Ukrainian parliamentarian and decoding war hero said quickly found himself in hot water. In an interview with Radio Liberty, lawmaker Roman Koshko, who is the secretary of Ukraine's Parliamentary Committee for National Security, Defense and Intelligence, and a former military commander, said that taking back the part of the currently occupied on the left or western side of the Dnipro River is possible but very difficult. Within hours of the elected officials' public speculation about the offence and the emphasis of the Kherson left bank, the Deputy Minister of Defence, Anna Misha, issued a stern statement. To speak narrowly about the counter-offensive is incorrect. It is a massive complex of action and efforts in which the armed forces of Ukraine are ready in. These efforts involve preparations of equipment, people, reserves, and the formation of tactics. Plans A, B, and C, Maya said in a Facebook post. The armed forces of Ukraine are not preparing some single plan for a specific time or specific direction. Rather, every day they prepare for a vast array of defences and counter-offensive strategies, she said. A Kiev Post source appraised the strategy of military thinking and said that Koshko is just hyping. He doesn't have access to any real information. In his interview, who has a distinguished military record, including as a cyborg defender of Donetsk airport, and said that he was taking the left bank, and said that taking the left bank of Kherson creates a condition for making Crimea an island. If we also destroyed the Kerch bridge, then we can talk about further advances. We understand that this is difficult for it to occur. We also need to move in the direction of Berdiansk and Metropole. Koshko says that's a corridor of 80 kilometers at a minimum. It needs to be 30 and 40 kilometers across, not to get closed off. And then there's another 160 kilometers of open front that needs to be secured by reserve forces. He further speculated. Optimism, but also it's like, hey, don't give too much away as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
What I heard was that there's only so many people, like 9 people or something, it might be less or more, slightly more than that, who actually know what's going to happen. So, all keeping the cards very close to the chest, and obviously they don't want the Russians to get advance warning. The Russians know that there's a counter-offensive coming, everybody knows about it. It's just when and where, and how big that's going to be. So we
know they've crossed the river, but there hasn't been like a story broke saying that Kherson has fallen. There has been I've been keeping an eye on the stories. I haven't seen anything saying like Kherson has fallen to Ukraine.
It's Bakhmut, isn't it? I know they've kind of, the Russians have pushed in through the east, into the railway station and things like that. But it's just kind of the rumor I heard was that also the Ukrainians are doing like a slow withdrawal to stop them being overrun. Just kind of keep the Russians at arm's length and slowly withdraw, because they're not going to get cut off anymore, which is one of the worries. So yeah.
Giles says the counter-offensive will have to be multiple to break Russian lines, and this leak is probably counter-espionage.
Could be.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. Could be. Bonjour, all shorts. Good to see you there.
Bonsoir, all shorts. Bonsoir. Hugh says, Charlie C, she needs to leave the poisonous BBC. Victoria Derbyshire is totally wasted there. Doing original theme music for Dr. Bloody Who. Okay, I don't know. Sorry, Cat says, I wish Stanley Johnson had done a quick withdrawal. Yes, well done. Slavik says, I was gutted, wanted to see Murdoch having to testify. Oh,
yeah, that would have been sweet.
Yeah. So he says, Victoria Derbyshire was my pick for Alex Anchor, if you've ever met her. She's incredibly bright. Yeah, I think that ties up with the question before. Denise. Yeah, Chelsea. That's how I watch Denise Davidoff. I don't watch him every day, but he does great dailies. He runs a Telegram channel. I don't watch his Telegram channel because I think he includes a lot of footage, which some of it can be quite grim. So I don't watch that. But he does daily stuff on YouTube, which is really informative. So where I got we've done a few times the deep state map showing the progress. So yeah.
Yeah, we could have done that if we had thought about it, but
well, we've got quite a lot to go through, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one.
Are we going to the independent one, or because we've still got some time, or
we'll do the local authority one then, yeah.
Yeah. Should we? Was it a funny one next? Oh, I'm going back.
And this one isn't. This
no,
one's
you didn't have a funny video in between. Oh, yeah, we had this one just in. Yeah, we had this
The funny videos
Oh,
after this one.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to read it? I'll do this one.
Oh yeah, you could do this one. Yeah.
Okay. So nearly local authority rich list nearly 2,800 council workers earned more than £100,000 last year. And local authority, the greatest number of bosses receiving total remuneration of £100,000 was Westminster with 50 employees. 50, so that's 5 million. Yeah, nearly. Yeah, nearly 2,800 council fat cats raked in more than £100,000 last year as a country. Excuse me. Sorry, grappled with the cost of living squeeze.
Town halls paid out generous pension contributions, bonuses, and other benefits despite hiking taxes to pay for services under pressure from sky-high inflation and extra demand. According to data obtained by the Taxpayers Alliance (TPA), 2,759 council bosses received a six-figure salary, with 721 getting more than £150,000. Some 608 were paid more than the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who got 156,000 in his last financial year. The high-earning council bosses was unnamed managing director of Guildford Borough Council, who was paid an eye-watering £607,000 to 633 pence. Blimmin' heck.
Yeah.
Enough to fund 18 nurses for an entire year.
Bear in mind, this has come from the Taxpayers Alliance, which is basically the same as the IEA and other right-wing think tanks that are based at Tufton Street in London.
Yeah,
you can see the interactive.
So this is a number of. So just to highlight, so it says here at the top, number of council bosses paid £100,000 or more last year. You hover over the interactive map to find how many there were in your area. So,
yours is
like obviously
Lewisham, 19.
19, Lewisham 19. Where's Stockport? Manchester, Oldham, Tameside, Stockport. You've got 9.
Yeah.
Northumberland's got 20. Yorkshire, East Riding Yorkshire got 20. Cornwall 20. Dorset 23 in Dorset. Milton Keynes 21. Birmingham 20. Just some of the ones that are high. Harrow 25. Hilton, Hounslow 24. Some of the ones in blue, which is more than 20. Greenwich 35. Hackney.
Haringey's 43.
43. Haringey 43.
Westminster's 50.
Having 18. Bristol City 16. Cheshire 15. City of Edinburgh 29. Glasgow City of Edinburgh there. Glasgow City 18. Leeds 19. Yeah, so pretty shocking. The payments were made up to 107, 195 salary, the 339,000 pension contributions, and 5,688 in benefits, and a golden goodbye. Guildford would not reveal the identity of the directors, despite their salary being funded by taxpayers. A spokesman said, in the last financial year, we made a one-off payment of 154,000 to the former managing director. The payment was a legal obligation and reflects over 30 years of loyal service to our borough. This payment was shared equally with Waverley Borough Council in line with our partnership agreement. Councils that publish annual reports but couldn't be included on the map. So
Essex 45.
Here's 45 for Essex. Norfolk 26, Surrey 26, Staffordshire 22, Oxfordshire 20, West Sussex 20, Hampshire 32, Cumbria 20.
These are quite high figures, really, for people working for local councils.
It's very high. It's very, very high. The second highest paid council boss was Fiona Brown, Sunderland's outgoing executive director for neighbourhoods. A spokesman said, we continue to deliver crucial services during the cost of living crisis, including services to thousands of vulnerable adults and children. We're delivering hundreds of millions of pounds of investment. This is making Sunderland a more dynamic, healthy and vibrant city. This work involves major social and legal responsibilities and rehabilitations to senior and ex-staff, including pensions and benefits where they have left after long services can reflect this. This is outrageous. I'm sorry, people are struggling right now, and contributions for long services. Okay, but do you need to give them a huge chunk of money at this time right now? Like
8 for Oldham lefty voter. Yeah, I mean, 100,000 is quite a high salary. It depends how many are over 100,000. I mean, if they're paying 500,000, that's a hell of a lot of money, isn't it? 500,000, especially when council workers, are probably being squeezed as well. We're all being squeezed, but council workers are probably being squeezed, and there isn't enough money to fill potholes. We've got roads collapsing around here. We've got potholes everywhere.
Jail says, I know of at least 3 mayors here serving jail time for things not as serious as this.
Yeah, I mean that's in Portugal, isn't it? Yeah.
There are no independent authorities and courts to inspect the accounting for these local councils. And oops, sorry, I forgot this was the UK.
Yeah.
Thanks, I feel so much better.
Aljo says Sunak is in a pothole. He looks like it, doesn't he? I thought he's just, he's not quite. He's like a little doll, little Ken Barbie Ken, doll.
Nico says, I've got 27 years of service with the same company, and all I got was a sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got something a bit more light-hearted.
Yeah, a bit more light.
It's getting completely nothing to do with politics, but there you go. If
you would have said to me before my kids were born, Sam, on occasion, you will find it absolutely hilarious when your child injures themselves. I would have said, no, not me, no, because I am not a monster. And it turns out I'm a little bit of a monster, because that is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. There's nothing funnier than watching a 2-year-old stand up who's forgotten he's under the table, is there? I'm shouting my wife, love, he's doing it again, you're going to miss it, honey. Oh, that was the best one, he twatted his head then. Oh, good job I filmed it, watch that.
My God, you picked that one.
That's what they do these days. It's like, look, quick, I got it on camera.
Oh, there's Dennis, the guy from.
He's doing some tours in the UK, so definitely go check out his channel. Not doing London, so I'm not very happy because I can't do it. Because if you virtually do London, I can't do his show. But anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Something nice. And it's a positive news. It is in Scotland, guys. So proud day for Scottish people. The world's first rewilding centre has opened in Scotland. The new centre provides a gateway to the UK's largest rewilding landscape, where golden eagles are breeding again after a long absence. The world's first rewilding centre has opened in the Scottish Highlands, offering a gateway to the UK's largest nature recovery site. The Dungoring Rewilding Centre in. Oh my God!
You pick these articles with loads of really weird, hard names to say.
Yep. I know. I'm going to upset all the Scots in the chat now. Glenmorson, near Loch Ness, is located at a former deer stalking estate, explored for centuries by sheep, cattle, and deer grazing. The 110,000 acre landscape is being nursed back to health by the charity Tree of Life, which has bought the site in 2008. Rare native trees have been reintroduced to the land, while a reduction in grazing has encouraged existing fragments and threatened the Caledonian forests. Dubbed Scotland's rainforest to thrive in 2020, golden eagles breed on the estate for the first time in 40 years. Dungarvan is part of the African Highlands, the UK's largest rewilding landscape, which will potentially cover more than 500,000 acres from the Highlands to Scotland's west coast. The rewilding centre will show visitors large-scale nature recovery and can give people inspiring experiences, create jobs and benefit rural communities. So far, 20 permanent roles have been created at the centre. For 15 years, Dungarvan has been a beacon for rewilding our landscape. Now it will be a beacon for rewilding people too, said Steve McElwright, Tree of Life Chief Executive. The centre includes cafe, classrooms, a storytelling buffery, an event space, as well as a 40-bedroom accommodation unit. Visitors are greeted by a stunning tree sculpture made of reclaimed metal by the Scottish artist Helen Deary. Displays in English and Gaelic introduce rewilding and the Gaelic language. The centre was made possible by $2 million crowdfunder by the sustainable bank Triodos. I'm losing my words today. The money was raised in less than 48 hours. More than 400 people invested, only 8% of who were based in Scotland. The speed at which was raised was achieved shows passionate people about protecting the UK's wildlife, says Whitney Thomas, head of corporate finance at Triodos Bank UK. Trees for Life is doing such important work to tackle the nature and climate emergencies here in the Highlands, and we're excited to see the visitor centre officially launch. Trees of Life has also received funding from the National and Cultural Heritage Fund, which has led the Nature Scott and funded through the European Regional Development Fund, the National Lottery Heritage Fund, I'm not going to say that. With my apologies. SSE, Sustainable Development Fund, Ogmar's PIGEON Foundation, the FREN, Community Funds, and Garfield Western Foundation. Income generated by the centre will support Trees of Life in its aim to rewild the Scottish Highlands. How cool is this?
This
is awesome. That's really cool. I've got whenever I get a chance to go to Scotland, this is somewhere I definitely will want to check out for sure.
Talking of rewilding, All Shorts, who's in the chat, is a good friend of the show. He is rewilding his land he's got a couple of acres, a couple of hectares of land in France, and he's rewilding, and he can help. He's saying there in the chat. Really pleased with our efforts encouraging wildlife. They've got birds of prey now on the land, visiting the land.
Yes, he has.
Planting lots of trees, and you can help him. I'll get a link for the page.
I'm literally doing that.
Oh, you're doing that now? Okay, if you do that, then that's great.
You just keep mingling with the chat while
I'll just keep talking.
Do
yeah.
That.
Zhao says, "Good work, Marcus." That's All Shorts, Marcus All Shorts. Thank you from nature. Yes, yeah, brilliant. It's brilliant what you're doing, Marcus. All Shorts did rewilding earlier. I think Nico says yes, he's still doing it. And you can actually, like I say, you can donate to his I think a GoFundMe to buy trees and have your name. I don't know how that works. So do you have a tag or something on the tree?
There's a link in the description for you guys to GoFundMe. If you want to have a tree, and you can even and All Shorts will do that for you. Definitely will help make a difference as well. Yes, it is rewarding too, as it says. Yeah, so there's the link, guys. If you can afford it, it'd be much appreciated to our friend there. So always good stuff going on there, as well as up in Scotland. Yeah. So yes, lovely story. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Okay, we've got this one. I'm sure there are people here who've come just specifically for this from our clickbaity title. Pound shop pigeon.
Yes, pound shop pigeon. This is what our firemen are doing these days, guys. This is typical British stuff. It is from the Metro. Firefighters from 2 stations descend on Poundland to rescue a pigeon.
Yep.
One pigeon. Yeah. We've all heard stories about firefighters rescuing cats stuck up trees, but have you heard of them rescuing a pigeon stuck on the roof? 2 fire crews were sent to a branch of Poundland in the Tulstall area of Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire, after a innocent pigeon got stuck in netting on the shop's roof. The incident happened on Thursday, and shoppers spotted the 2 Staffordshire fire and rescue crews using an aerial ladder performed to reach the bird. The rescue took about the hour, and the pigeon was checked over by the local RCA before being set free. A spokesman for the fire service said, "On arrival, we found the pigeon stuck in a netting at height roof. Crew managed to get the bird down, and it was treated at the scene by the RSPCA before being released." 2 crews, one from Longton and Stanley Ford, were sent to the scene around 1:15, and the incident was all wrapped up by 2 p.m. Thankfully, the bird was uninjured, with only some ruffled feathers to show for its adventure. And it's not the only animal to get itself stuck in Auckland Junction this week, as a fuming red squirrel had to be rescued from a manhole cover in Germany. I think we covered that last week or week before that. I don't know.
I don't think the red squirrel, no.
After all that for next week.
After all that fuss, the pigeon will probably choose to chop at pound stretcher from now on.
Yeah, it sure will, guys. So there it is, the famous
There you
pigeon,
go.
guys. So that's what our glorious firefighters are doing these days, saving pigeon lives.
Well, I mean, I'm not criticising. At the end of the day, if the most of the time firefighters are kind of sitting around waiting for stuff to happen, and so they're either cleaning their appliance or whatever. So give some training, get out, get on the user platform, get some training of rescuing things.
Yeah, it's not very often that you hear something about pigeon because, unfortunately, yeah, a lot of pigeons are kind of just
Usually
left to their
negative.
fate because we do have an excess amount of these birds in our country as well. To be fair, but Duke says bloody pigeon.
Pigeon. Yeah, pigeons are stupid, says Nico. Yes. Bet you left them a nice present, says to allow the cat. Yeah, it's a good job you weren't there. Sorry,
WTF? Is that on the story or?
That's it. Sorry, that is it. I bet number 3 says, I bet the toys were more about the expense and have shot the pigeon themselves given the chance. I'll let it starve. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Also says
pigeons are stupid, says Nico.
Yeah. Also says we're making birdhouses, bat roost, hedge house, etc. too on the thing. Yeah, there's also sorts of things
lots of wonderful stuff
you can donate towards on the GoFundMe. So check that out.
Should do a nice video of it, all shorts, as you get more and more of it done, like a nice montage video of some of it. That would be really nice for people to see as well. If you ever get round to that as well, that would be people would love to just see it all as well in all its glory. That would be awesome. Are we on time, Lee?
We are. We've done an hour. Look at that, an hour.
Whoa! Wow. Wow, well, this is pretty fabulous, guys. On the dot, can't believe it. So, guys, we do have one more video before on our way out from the Foil and Arms YouTube channel. But before we do that, guys, just want to say a massive thank you, guys, for everyone for dropping by and supporting us as always. If you can, before on your way out, hit the like button. We would greatly appreciate it. If you can, also share the video across other streaming platforms, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere, any other social media would be greatly appreciated to help support the work we do here. And just want to say, obviously, at the moment we're on 65 fantastic subscribers, so thank you all very much for subscribing and contributing to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. Also, if you hit that bell notification icon, you'll be informed of when we go live as well, just for that as well. And guys, also I am going to be a bit cheeky as well. I'm going to plug my channel in just a moment as well for you guys. I know a lot of you has also, some of you guys have subscribed to my channel, and I just want to say a big thank you as well on here. I'm in the space of 3 weeks since I started that channel, and I now have 51 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. And I know some of you guys have subscribed to my channel, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that as well. Also, guys, if you want to, we also have a free Discord server. You guys are more than welcome to join us, called the Snowflake server. Well, we'll also put that in the links in the chat before we go out as well, so you can join us in the after chat. It's completely free to join, where we do games nights, we do a movie night every 2 weeks, and we do also do a music night as well as other fun stuff. And we also have news articles that we put on the server as well. And as I said, it's free to join. I think I covered everything, did I, Lee?
With the subscribe to our channel as well. You didn't mention
that would be helpful.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed
as
already,
I did say,
you
65
can do.
subscribers. It's just for us, it's absolutely fantastic, and we appreciate each and every one of you for contributing, guys. So thank you very much. Yeah, we really do appreciate it.
So yeah, we'll be in the after show chat on the Discord server, which we'll put a link in the chat for before we go. But in the meantime, I'm going to cough again. In the meantime, we're gonna leave you with a video from Foul, Arms and Hog. Thanks for coming. If you don't see you in the after show chat, hopefully we'll see you next week. And take it easy.
Take care, guys. Stay safe as always, and we'll see you guys. Probably see you on Max's live stream. Might see you somewhere else. Oh, we might even see you this Sunday if All Shorts does a live stream there. Yeah. So wherever you guys are, wherever we see you, take care as always, and we hope to see you guys next week, same time as always.
Just a quick one. Labour Social. I'll put a link in there as well. Every morning, 9:30 till 10, a live stream on Labour Social, plus other videos as well. And that's a good one to watch. Right, take care, guys. Leave you with this. Bye.
Take care, guys. Goodbye.
Before granting you entry to Switzerland, you must first answer these questions correctly. What are the 3 main languages of Switzerland?
French, German, and secrets.
Correct. What is the most famous mountain peak in Switzerland?
The Toblerone one.
Correct. What is the most powerful defensive weapon in the Swiss army?
The Alps.
Correct. Name the weakest weapon in the Swiss army.
Tweezers.
Correct. What is a large amount of holes and hardly any cheese?
Credit Suisse Investment Bank.
Correct. What is one of the biggest pluses about moving to Switzerland?
The flag.
Yes. Despite having no coastline, Switzerland has a large amount of...
Offshore bank accounts.
Yeah. What Swiss institution accelerates objects at such speeds that they collide and separate as molecules?
Roger Federer's backhand.
Correct. Why do people travel to Switzerland to meditate?
To enter a neutral state.
Yeah. The cuckoo clock originated in Germany.
So is
What was
that
the
a
question?
No, I'm just reminding you. Switzerland has a long tradition of culinary innovation. What is its biggest accolade?
The world's most expensive Big Mac.
Yeah, correct. Which dropped set still haunts Roger Federer?
his fondue set?
Yeah, he was very upset. Okay. Finally, what is the most ridiculous looking Swiss watch company?
The Swiss Guard.
Yeah. Welcome to Switzerland. Just hold a moment while I contact my superiors, okay? Yole, yole, yole. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na, yeah, 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 yeah. Lu, 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 lu. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Derek!
We would love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers.
By the end of the year.
Yeah, well,
Not just whenever. See, if you don't give the chart, there's no motivation.
no motivation.
Can you manually put this up? Can you there's a button there.
Let me talk to the guy.
What's that do?
Says
that.
down.
Oh, very good.
Hey,
Very good. That was very good. I like
There you
that.
go.